It's me, Buckle. Isla, I absolutely love your new playroom.
We changed it over in the holidays. It feels so much more homey.
It really does. And there's a craft table and there's pictures on the wall. I think my favorite thing might be the reading nook in the corner. But Isla, I think we've forgotten something.
What?
We haven't welcomed our friends.
Do you guys like my playroom?
Isla, did I just hear a bird?
Walter's here!
Who's Walter?
Buckle, me, Walter, the delivery pigeon.
What does Walter deliver?
Walter delivers the craft and the secret from you.
Whoa, let's find out what I sent you this week.
First, we got some arts and crafts, some plates, a glue stick, and a toolbox.
A toolbox. Isla, do you know why there's a toolbox today?
Not yet, but let's go look at today's preach so we can go figure it out.
And while you do that, let's get our craft ready for later on. Okay, so lately I've been building something really special. It is this. Do you reckon you know what it is? I'll give you a couple of seconds. It is a beehive. You might be thinking, but Buckle, that's really small for a beehive. Well, this is actually for a special type of bee called an Australian native bee. This is a photo of what they look like. They are teensy tiny. They're very, very small. And so I like having them in my garden because it's good for my plants, and so I'm building a beehive. But when I built this, I didn't just throw some wood together. I had to have a plan and a purpose for every bit. See this piece on the top? Well, this is the roof. This is what keeps all the heat or the cold in depending on what the temperature is, and so I had to build that. These next pieces are little, and this is where the bees can crawl in from the bottom and they can store their honey so that they have food during the winter. I've got 2 of those. And then if I open up this bit, this is where the main beehive is. The queen is in here, she lays all the eggs, and that's where the bees live. Now the thing about building my beehive is every piece has a purpose. There's a reason for every piece being a part of that beehive. But when you make things and when I make things, we can only make those things from something else. We take one thing, in this instance I took some wood and I changed it into something else. But today we're going to look at how God made the world, and even more important, we're going to see that God made everything from nothing. He started with nothing and made everything. And just like my beehive, when God made everything, everything has a purpose. There is a reason for everything that God made, and that includes you and it includes me. And so in just a moment, we're going to take a look at the story of creation in the Bible, how many days there were, what God made on those different days. And then after that, we're going to take a look at why God made you and He made me as well. Now it's time for us to take a look at this week's craft. Isla, do you want to show us what you've done?
Here you go.
Whoa, that looks absolutely amazing.
Well, what I did was first I drew Australia, then I drew New Zealand, and I drew some more lands. Then I drew the sea, the border, myself,
Very pretty.
and then I glued the words on.
And that says, God made everything on purpose, including me. I love what you did here, Isla. It's so good.
Hopefully I helped everyone at home.
It's true. And you know what? We want to see all of your arts and crafts when you make this as well. So if you do this, you can ask your teacher or your leader at church or even your parents to take a photo of it and send it through to us so that we can show it next week.
And there's a link below on our YouTube channel.
There is, that's right. We can't wait to see what you come up with.
It's time to read the Bible story. Buckle, can you read it for us today?
I would love to. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless, blank, and it was dark. So God said, "Let there be light." And suddenly there was light. God was pleased with the light, and so separated the light from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. This was the very first day. On the next day, God said, "Let's make a space between the waters in the air and the waters on the ground." He called this space sky. This was the second day.
The next day, God said, "Let's gather all of the water into one place and let dry ground appear." He called the dry ground land and the waters the seas. Then God said, "Let the earth sprout plants. Let there be big plants and small plants and trees that yield seeds and fruit." And so just as God said, plants and trees began to grow. This was the third day. The next day, God said, "Let there be lights in the heavens, lights to separate day from night, to be signs for seasons and days and years. Let the lights in the sky shine down on earth." And so God made two great lights, the sun to shine in the day and the moon to shine at night, and he filled the sky with stars. This was the fourth day. The next day, God said, "Let the waters be filled with every living creature, and let birds fill the sky." And so God made all of the fish of the sea and all the birds in the air. This was the fifth day. The next day, God said, "Let the earth be covered in animals." God made creeping animals and walking animals and wild animals, animals of every kind. Then God said, "Let's make man. Let's make him in our own image, our own likeness." And so God formed a man from the dust of the earth. And then he breathed God's own breath into the man. And so Adam, the very first man, took his first breath. But God saw that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. And so he put Adam into a deep sleep, took one of his ribs, and created Eve, the very first woman. This was the sixth day. God saw everything that he had made, and he saw that it was good. And so on the seventh day, God rested, and he made the day holy.
The thing I love about the creation story is that God had a plan. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and then there was light. But you know something crazy? God hadn't even made the sun yet. There was light, but no sun. You see, God can make something from nothing. He doesn't have to start with something else to make something new, but I have to. When I made my beehive, I had to start with wood so that I could cut it and glue it and turn it into something else. But when God made the world, he didn't need anything. He just used his imagination. He said, "Let there be light. Let there be land. Let there be grass. Let there be animals and fish and water and all of the things that we can see." But you know, God made everything on purpose. You see, the trees need light to survive. We need food and water to survive. And so God made everything with a reason and a purpose. And the thing is that God also made you and me with a purpose. When God made you, he had a plan for your life, something that you can do to change your world, something just for you. You see, the Bible says in John 1 verse 3 that everything was made from God and nothing was made without him. In other words, for us to have been made, we need God. Yes, we need food, we need air, we need to breathe, all those things. But even more than that, we need God. And for us to reach our purpose, the thing that God made us for, we need God to do that as well. And so today, why don't you think about what things you enjoy doing? Is it dancing? Is it craft? Is it sport? Is it singing? Is it acting? Is it math? Is it science? What did God make you to enjoy? And then think about how you can use that to help somebody else today at school or at church, and how you can show love to God to thank him for making you the way you are, that God made you on purpose. And so this is what I want you to remember today. It's our big point. I want you to write it down if you know how to write, that God made you on purpose. Isla, it's nearly time for me to go.
No, I love when you visit.
I love coming to visit as well.
Can you do one more thing for me?
I can. What's that?
The quiz, silly.
I can't believe I forgot the quiz. Would you like me to explain how we do the quiz?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're going to ask a question from today's Bible story and give you two possible answers. If you think the first answer is correct, put your hands on your
Head.
If you think the second answer is correct, put your hands on your
Shoulders.
Here we go with question number 1. On the first day, what did God create? Did he make funky music or did he make light? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what's the answer?
Was it light?
That's right, God made light on the first day. Question number 2. How many days were there in the creation story? Were there 7 days or were there 32 days? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
7 days, Buckle.
That's right, there was 7 days. Good job. Question number 3. What did God do on the 7th day? Did he throw a big party or did he rest? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
He rested?
He rested, that's right. Good job, everybody. Well done. And Isla, thanks so much for letting me come and visit today, but I've got to head off.
Aw. Bye! Thank you guys for watching, and next week we're going to be learning about Adam and Eve. Can't wait to see you. Bye!